Boys, a couple weekends ago, had a really good weekend.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I got engaged.
Let's go. Shout out to my boy, all wifed up in here.
I got it right.
The boys in here drinking some brute.
Drinking some
Also Michelob Ultra, because we drank the brute already, because we've been celebrating, because that's freaking awesome. Congratulations, Zach.
Thank you.
He's engaged to his lovely fiance. How many times you called her fiance? Do you get home? Hey, fiance.
Yeah.
Can someone ask you about it? That's my fiance.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you fucked up yet? You called her your girlfriend?
No, have not.
Okay. So you're 2 weeks in, haven't called her your girlfriend yet?
No.
I can see a fight stirring from that one. Yeah. Like, this is my girlfriend.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Like, if you're introduced her to someone, this is my girlfriend. Like, that might not go well.
All right, boys. So I know that you guys haven't gotten to this point in any relationship you've had to where you put a ring on a girl, but you spend that kind of money and you definitely forget about the name girlfriend. I will say that.
Whoa. I say that's completely false, because I know when you bought that ring.
So does she. So does everybody.
So I actually disagree with that. You're lying big time.
Zach's like half a paycheck. That's what they say on TV. Half a paycheck.
No, but,
half the paycheck of your first ever job. Gold Star Chili, half a paycheck.
she's been getting a fucking ring pop, dude.
That's funny.
Because when I worked at Gold Star, gas was like $4 something a gallon, and I drove a Ranger, so about $70.
No, yeah,
to
I got
fucking gas.
30 horsepower.
I
Yeah,
got lucky. I worked at the Gap right by my house. It was super close.
There you go.
Super close.
There you go, dude. I saved up for that ring, man. I'm proud of it. But anyways,
Congrats.
yeah, man. She said yes. So you guys want to know the story, or do you just want to move on?
Let's hear it. So you went on a trip to New York, and you saw the big ass waterfall.
Huge. 3 of them.
Huge. The Niagara Falls.
Yeah, we went to Niagara Falls. So, again, you guys have never proposed to a girlfriend. I was more nervous to ask her than I was her parents, and the reason why is because girls, you gotta make it right for them. And the picture has to be right, the angles have to be right, it has to be sunny. Okay, well, you guys ever been to Niagara Falls?
Yeah.
I have not.
Hella fucking people everywhere, dude. So
Loud?
Well, yeah, the waterfall.
If you're by
is,
the
but
waterfall,
when
it's
you're up
super
top, it's not that loud. But hella people everywhere. So I was trying to scout out a place to get a picture to do it, but I didn't want a bunch of random people in the background of these pictures, so didn't do it at Niagara Falls. Okay, then it started raining. Okay, and so we went to this park, and I was like, all right, we'll just find some flowers or whatever. We'll do it in front of there. Starts raining. There was a little kid running around my fucking camera while I was trying to take these pictures, so that didn't work out.
Wait, so have you already proposed at this point?
No, I'm trying to find a place to do it.
Oh.
Does she know what's going on?
No, I just told her that I wanted to take pictures.
Oh, okay.
And
That's probably pretty obvious to her. It's gotta be,
I
right?
don't know, dude. She said that, at looking back on it now, she said that it's obvious, but now, or like when it was happening, she didn't understand.
I'm just curious because we recently had a buddy get engaged, and the only way I found out, he didn't tell me he was getting engaged. It was 2 weeks before he got engaged, and I was hanging out with him, and he knew he was going on this trip, right?
Yeah.
And he said I told his exact words were, I told this photographer not to call me yet, and I was like, photographer, and you go on vacation, you're getting engaged. She's like, yeah. So
Ruined it.
yeah. Personally, if I knew there was a photographer going, Zach, I would have said it before you even left. When I saw you last, I didn't know there was a photographer going though.
There wasn't a photographer.
Oh, you just find one there?
No, that was all
He
me,
has a
dog.
camera. He set it up.
Yeah, I got my camera right here.
duh.
The podcast camera,
Never
dude.
mind. Forgot about that.
So it was kind of awkward to hook
That's
the
how I
mic.
got such a nice ring.
Yeah.
No photographer.
But I plugged in the microphone into the camera, and I was like, we don't really need this to take pictures, but I'm just going to plug it in anyway, knowing damn well that I needed the microphone. And so I finally found the place that I was going to do it at. And so where we're sitting to where the camera is, there were two foreign couples just staring at us. And there was them where the camera is, which is probably 6 feet away.
Just you two that went, or did family
Yeah,
go?
it was just us two.
Yeah.
And then in between us and the camera, there was two foreign people standing there looking at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, can you guys leave? I'm trying to do this. And so long story, after 6 hours of, trying to find a place, finally got down on one knee, did it. She said yes.
Did you cry?
I don't know.
Did you cry?
No, but
yeah, you cried.
if
You
you
cried. Look at him. He
Yeah,
cried.
dude.
Be a crier at the wedding.
I will cry at the wedding, but I'm not going to share the video. but I'll let you guys listen to
You
it.
cried. Oh.
You could tell, dude, I was really nervous. So I sounded like a,
Yeah, I bet
grade
you were.
one bitch, but
I don't know why I really need this.
Sorry.
Mike, this is put it in. Voice
I've probably
cracking.
done it during interviews at way less important times in my life.
yeah. So
funny.
you guys saw the picture. We were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
right on the edge of that rock, and it was probably
Yeah.
like a 10-foot drop off into the water. And my dumbass wasn't thinking like if I fumbled the ring or anything, I was going head first into this water
Gone forever.
trying to
Better
find
that
this
you
ring.
didn't think.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like it's one of those things that if you were thinking about it,
All
you'd have been
fucked up,
like,
all in.
yeah, you would have fucked up
I was-
somewhere.
I was-
Yeah.
That's sketchy that it's just wide open like that. But the whole Grand Canyon's like that, Jake.
Yeah.
It's literally just like, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I could just jump down and die.
Yeah. Well, I was taking after Griff and just not thinking about it.
Just
And
don't
I,
think
I was just
about
betting it, dude. I was taking a gamble.
No, I like it.
50-50 chance. She said yes, but,
But yeah, congrats,
That's
Zach.
pretty
engaged.
awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Super
Congrats.
congrats. What'd you
So-
think of Niagara Falls?
it was
I
cool.
had a little bit of stats on the Niagara Falls because I've been there as well, and it is pretty cool. But it's 176 feet tall and flows 700,000 gallons of water per second.
That's fucking nuts,
Per
dude.
That's
second.
insane.
That's a lot of freaking water. That's the most in North America. I don't know about the world. I think North America.
Yeah.
Now, Victoria Falls, I think, is the biggest.
That's the one in Australia?
Yeah.
I know it's
I don't know where it's at.
out that way.
That was Australia.
I thought it was in Africa. I don't know. I'll look it up.
Well,
You
either
might
way,
be right. I don't know.
The power is absolutely insane. First question: would you ride down it in the barrel?
Nope. Die.
No,
Actually,
people
no,
have survived.
People have survived.
Yeah, tons
There's
of
a whole
people.
history lesson on the people who've done it.
I feel like it's actually
like-
like pretty good. Like 60% of people survive.
When I'm talking about death, I'm not taking a 60% chance. When I'm talking about when I'm talking about
Pretty good. It's
when I'm
60%.
talking about the Patriots covering over the Browns, we'll talk 60% then all day. But when it's like there's a 60% chance you live and a 40% chance you die, I'd be like, let's go with the no percent chance I do it.
You got to be like Jake. Always look at the other side of stats, dude. There's a 40% chance that you die.
I want to know what the people that were like, yeah, I'll fucking do it. Like,
Okay.
were they dares or were they like planning
Big
it?
stats guy,
Well-
60%. I'm dropping.
So there was
dropping.
Probability.
Like you're at the top of the ski slope.
If you look at the
dropping.
Zach will love this. If you look at the correlation, you live.
right. But funny thing you say that the one lady who went over the falls in a barrel, her thing was she was a poor housewife, didn't have any money, so this was going to be her claim to fame. Was she was going to go over the falls in a wooden barrel and then sell the parts off. So she did it, lived, and then nobody wanted to buy the barrel. So she died of lonely housewife.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Oh man, but
She was like a clout chaser before clout chaser.
Right, yeah,
She was like day one clout chaser. Like,
she was like, "Hey, get this on sketch, bro."
you think they have like a clout chaser class, and she's like the first person to ever go on?
She basically said, "You want my autograph?" Right? She said, "You want my autograph?" She's Pete Rose in Vegas right now.
Also, I did some research on the river that flows into it, which is kind of cool. I didn't know this, but 1/4 of all electricity to New York State and Ontario is powered by the Niagara River. 50 to 75% of the water at night is diverted for power usage. In daytime, the water is not diverted to allow for optimal viewing of the falls.
Yep, that's crazy.
That is absolutely insane. I did
is
not
insane.
know that at all. But
So-
50 to 75%. I mean, New York's a big freaking state.
Fun fact about
Ontario.
this:
Yeah.
Tesla, like the guy that Elon Musk is so hard about.
Nikola Tesla.
Elon, what's the farm?
Nikola
Yeah.
Tesla.
Yeah, so he was actually the first person to. So back in the day, at the bottom of Niagara Falls, there used to be a bunch of power plants because they harvested the power of the falls, and I think it was AC energy. Like, you know how there's a difference between direct current and alternate current. So he was a big component for AC current, I believe, and so he built this big ass like turbine thing at the bottom of the falls and was able to generate all the power to power New York. But the problem with that was, and I believe that there was no way to harness it. Like, if it produced a like fuck ton of electricity, they couldn't bring it down to, you could plug your phone into this wall and it wouldn't blow up. So I think that they were able to
Frying
right.
New York City got fried,
Right.
dude. Every freaking
Every time you plug something in, somebody died.
every circuit in
Right.
New York City is
Fun
just
fact,
absolutely
right.
Tesla
blown.
also invented electricity before Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, but I mean, I might be wrong on that, but pretty much that's the gist of like Tesla.
I've never been
pretty
to
much
Niagara Falls. I'm gonna go to Niagara
harvested the Niagara Falls, and that's what it's known for. I never knew
Looks
that.
cool.
You know what cracks me up is just like the same people that are like telling us not to burn fossil fuels are probably the same person that went to Niagara Falls in the daytime and said, "What is this? 50% capacity?" You're like, whoa, we're diverting for electricity. And they're like, nature, burn fossil fuels.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they actually told like Tesla and all the guys that they needed to get their shit out of the bottom of the river because they were polluting the falls.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
I mean,
they're-
it's definitely gorgeous. Go see it. Like, it's awesome.
So when you went, did you take the boat ride to like Horseshoe Falls? Did like to the middle of it?
I think we took the boat ride. I think there was like two. There's one that goes like really far up or something. I don't think we did that one. We did
that
one
one.
that kind of goes up and you could see it. And then we did the where you walk behind the falls in the like cutout cave,
Oh damn!
and you can like walk up
Lucky
behind
you.
the falls from the cave.
That was in Canada, so we couldn't go.
Yeah, we went to the Canada side.
Yeah.
And then we went up and like I guess there's one of those revolving restaurants like Cincinnati has, but theirs is like actually nice.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Not like the Radisson.
so yeah, you went up and
that.
that was super cool.
I need,
Also,
I need a passport so I can do that.
Well,
passport.
the border's closed, so you got time.
That's true.
oh yeah, Canada don't fuck with COVID, not at all.
They don't.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, whoa, the baseball team's playing.
Blue
there
Jays
again.
are back.
yeah,
Not to talk about sports and the non-sports, but yeah, Blue Jays are back.
I did see in Buffalo where they were playing at.
I was like, you almost made it. Dude.
I almost
You
did,
could have
dude.
just walked over to the freaking Blue Jays.
no, dude. That would have been a long ass walk, but I could have done it.
You could have Ubered, but
Toronto is not right across the river.
what do you think you call an Uber and you're like, yeah, you got to cross the United States border to get me. Like they'd probably not be happy.
I don't think.
You'd have to get dropped off at the border.
Yeah, I
then
was gonna
cross,
say.
then call an Uber.
I don't know how like the tax would work on that. Like you earned three. You earned 3 cents.
You know,
in
America and Canada both be taking their split.
for sure. That's funny. But dude, Niagara Falls is cool. If you've never been, I recommend it.
I wanna go.
We didn't go at night, but I heard that it was really cool at night.
At night they have like colored lights.
Yeah, we didn't stay like at the falls.
pretty sweet.
Stayed at Buffalo University.
So say, Jake,
Super cool.
going back to Arizona next year, maybe
I
Grand
know.
Canyon. You want to guys want to go? Let me know.
I just can't spend that much money for
We'll be in spring training
dude.
baseball. I'll just let you know. It's fine.
I mean, I appreciate the invite.
We can talk off pod, but this, yeah. Anyway,
Well, I'm going to California next year for baseball, so I think that spring training is definitely out of my budget.
I feel you.
But
Be
yeah,
super interested.
What are you seeing? Dodgers, San Francisco,
the lower half of
nice.
California.
Padres, Dodgers.
Yeah, Padres, Dodgers, Arizona, and
LA
then
Angels.
Angels, and then going to Vegas.
Nice.
Even though the Vegas doesn't have anything, but I've never seen titties at a strip club.
Never?
Not at a strip club.
Kentucky's got nude strip clubs, right?
I've never been to a strip club before.
No,
Oh.
Jake, they don't.
Kentucky totally has nude strip clubs.
You guys went in college all the time.
No, they don't have top
Right.
half nude. They don't have top half nude.
No, yeah,
I
you're
know,
right.
I'm just fucking with you.
I think there's places that full nude.
No, I didn't know about
I'm
that.
just trying to make
No?
Griff feel
I don't know.
uncomfortable.
Maybe I'm just making that
I have
up.
no clue.
I've only. Top,
did wanna say-
they definitely have top half nude strip clubs.
I've never been to a
Ari-
strip club.
And- and they'll
Arizona,
touch you with
Arizona, though, Jake.
I'm a man of faith and engagement.
We'll talk.
Yeah, he's married.
We'll talk.
He's engaged.
We'll talk more though, Jake.
We'll go to the strip club
No,
and we'll send Zach.
Arizona.
We'll say Zach.
Talk about Arizona.
No, app on your fiance.
Oh gosh.
Well, it was my dad's idea to go to the strip club in Vegas. So.
All right, guys. Well, but
PC
Yes.
Griff is
So
sweating
So in
bullets over
Vegas,
here.
you actually don't have to go to the strip club.
They come to you?
because- Oh yeah,
Oh, really?
not strippers either.
Oh, what do we got?
my dad said they have trading cards.
What are they called technically?
Escorts.
Escorts? Like,
Yeah, escort full
Like
full legal escort services. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
come to they'll
AKA
come-
prostitutes?
They'll fuck you for money
What?
for dead ass for dead ass money.
It's legal. Escorting
Legal.
is legal there, and they literally
No
will like
fucking way.
have like these dudes that'll walk up with like trading cards, like baseball cards of all the girls, and they hand them out. And they
If
say,
you ever
"Here's the-"
wonder
it's like
why
an
people-
escort service. It's like you go to like a house.
You ever wonder why people say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
Yeah,
that's because
because
they're
of that.
fucking escorts, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They say, my wife definitely not gonna know that I fucked
Yeah.
escorts.
Well, I'm definitely not going there to do that.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm going to go there and lose about $20 at the casino.
What to say to the escort?
The casino, in
Yeah.
quotation, Zach. The casino.
I'll withdraw it here.
That's a cheap ass escort, bro.
I was just saying, what do you think $20 in Vegas can fucking get me, Griff? Like her to touch my dick on the outside of my pants? Like that's what $20 in Vegas would get me.
$20, not even a rub and tug, dude.
Oh my god.
Which parent's gonna listen to this episode, boys?
Oh fuck! I'm all for
I
it.
think it's enough for Niagara Falls, Arizona, and Vegas.
We went from Zach proposing to fucking
For me spending $20 to get my dick rubbed on the outside of my pants in Vegas.
just a quick transition here for
God.
Gridiron Garage.
And that's the boys. That's the plastic table, boys.
Next segment. Fantasy drafts is back. Oh no, never mind. We're fantasy draft after this. First off, I was curious. I saw this. I don't remember if we talked about Bezos or not going to space. If we did, we briefly touched it, but like it got me thinking.
What
Zach-
you briefly
Yeah,
touched?
we just
And how much did you get paid for
Zach
it?
and Jake. So if you could go on Bezos, Bezos dick rocket he has. You seen that?
It's a
shaped
dick
like a
rocket.
dick?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. It's very,
Very
phallic.
much like a
It's
dick.
very phallic. But if you could go on his rocket and go to space, like real space, not like fake space.
I'm
like
not
you went
riding his rocket for $20.
No. But if you go to space with him in
It's
his
a different
rocket,
kind of blast off.
Oh, I have to pay him to ride his rocket. Okay.
So listen, but I am curious about this, guys. Like, if you could go to space with Jeff Bezos, you pay his fee and go, right? You're weightless, you're in space, the whole 9 yards. What is the maximum amount you would pay, like right now? Like if you knew for 100% you're going to be 100% safe getting there, and you can tell people I went to space, I got to float around space for like 2 hours, and then we came back, right? If you were to do it, what is the max you would spend?
All
to
right,
do
hold
that?
on. Can we just have a disclaimer?
Yeah.
He went to space, but he didn't go to like
Space.
space.
No,
like,
Remember
I
the
understand.
space argument we had on like
what is
10
considered
podcasts?
space?
Yeah.
No,
right.
no,
Was
that's-
he in space?
That's why I said fake space.
Okay.
He was like still in the whatever sphere or whatever.
was, yeah.
But he had weightlessness.
He was pretty high up there.
Oh yeah,
but
he had weightlessness though.
no, he wasn't like floating around though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were floating around.
they were
big
floating
time.
around.
You got a video of it?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's video of them.
You can
like,
watch the entire thing.
they're
Pull it up.
spinning and laughing and
It's
floating
not
around.
very long though. You said how long did you say? You said 20 minutes. This is not 20 minutes.
Pull it up.
This is like
I don't know.
this is like 5 minutes.
Is the TV
They
on?
were floating.
Fuck.
This is not very long.
But what I want to say though is like you're in real space. Like you're way out there in space. You get to float around like that way out there in space.
Okay.
What is the maximum amount you would pay? Like you can go by how much you have in your
Couple
budget,
grand, 5
or how
grand.
much you'd actually like spend. Like what was the max you would pay?
I'd probably spend like $2,000 probably reasonable.
Probably more, yeah, more than like a good vacation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because like it'd be
Oh,
such an
yeah.
exclusive thing to you.
Is,
and
is,
experience.
is Jeff on the ship with me?
But
Yes,
the problem
Jeff's
is
always there.
The problem is though,
He's
for me,
always banging.
the probably like 5,000 a lot of money for me, and then you think about what vacation you could get for $5,000.
You can go to like
You're like, bro, I could take
fucking Europe.
Yeah, I could take a week off and do pretty much whatever I want for $5,000. You
the
know,
way I looked at it, how much I want to spend for it,
in comparison to going to space for 10 minutes.
yeah. So the way I look at it on deciding how much I wanted to spend, it made me really think like, would I really do this? This was a real opportunity.
Oh, I would do it.
Would I be like at the point where like I have to fucking do this, right? And when I'm thinking maximum amount, I'm saying to when Jeff Bezos literally starts lowering until or starts raising the price on you, right? Starts raising the price on you a certain what first price is like the maximum you'll pay. Like I won't
Crash
spend
my
any
shit.
more. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about it and like if I was like I really want to fucking go to space, I want to float around stuff like that. Dude, I'd be willing to spend like close to eight plus grand, 8 to 10 grand if I really had to.
That would be
not
like your
that I
max?
have. Yeah, like if it's like, hey, this is the absolute lowest we will go. We're never going to talk to you again if you don't take this offer. Like it would be like in that range. I still don't know yet how much I'd be willing to spend. 'Cause that's a lot of fucking money.
$8,000 is a lot of money.
But if you think about what they're really going to charge for stuff like that, right? They're charging like hundreds of thousands of dollars for those tickets.
right.
Yeah, but for those people,
That's
how
That's
much
like
is that?
$8,000.
Yeah, that's like a couple $1,000.
That's like a good weekend on Jeffrey Epstein's island or
Yeah,
something.
that's true. But yeah, Zach. Oh boy, this episode's been off the rails, gentlemen.
You know, legal escorts, one thing.
Yeah,
Child trafficking, whoa.
but yeah. So
We don't know that. I mean,
We don't know that. I watched
Right.
a documentary goddamn it, on Netflix.
you ever listen to that podcast?
I watched a documentary on Netflix. You telling me Netflix be lying to me?
The water's turning the frogs gay. So you'll probably be able to see his dick rocket here too, Zach. You ever see the rocket?
I've never seen it before.
I don't think it's in this video, but I did watch this video.
Oh, here it is.
So I know they get up and they start
see?
flying around in space.
See him, Zach? It's them in their dick rocket.
Watch, they start like throwing M&Ms in each other's mouths, and they start doing. Look at them. Yeah,
Could you imagine being that rich that this is what you do
yeah,
for
you
fun?
see. All right, that's proof that they're weightless. This what do you call that? Ping pong ball right here.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there
Well,
was
apparently Apollo 13 or whatever was fake.
yeah, that's people say it was filmed by
yeah.
the guy that filmed The Shining.
I think it's real, but
Real quick, so I'm pretty sure that kid floating around there. Pretty sure that kid floating around there's like a 16-year-old kid that's like dad's like a real estate mogul or something like that, or stockbroker mogul, and just like I want to go to space. Dad's like, all right, here you go, son. How insane is that?
freaking baller, dude.
I know.
Yeah, no, I would no doubt do this.
Yeah,
It's just how much would it be worth to me? I mean,
yeah.
like I said,
I think-
$5,000. I'm going on vacation to do something awesome.
I just think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, literally.
Maybe not.
For me, I know
It
that,
is now.
I know
Maybe
that
not.
business doesn't mean as much to you guys as it does to me, but to hang out with fucking Jeffrey Bezos, that would be awesome.
I think it'd be cool in general. I don't
Do
care
an
who's
elevator, the ultimate elevators pitch, the elevator to space.
The space pitch.
there. Zach would be like, so I got this idea.
Okay.
3 guys, plastic table, talking sports. Jeff, interview.
The lowest budget podcast you could probably ever be a part of. But
There's definitely lower than us.
We would love to do a Skype call with you, talk about the inception of
Skype?
Amazon.
I don't own Skype.
What does he own?
I don't know. Amazon Meats. Who knows?
We can do an Amazon video. I'll figure it out.
But yeah, so I was just curious what the max you would spend is.
I would say a couple grand.
Yeah, I'd spend a lot. I don't know what it would be exactly. I know I'd spend a lot because that would be awesome to do, right? Okay, so now we go to fantasy draft time. So something that we're all going to do in our fantasies, go to space to a fantasy draft, right? So we haven't done one of these in a little while. I think we've maybe done a couple recently, but that's it. But I was thinking, I don't know what made me think of this. I think it was more so that I was thinking like we should have dodgeball in the Olympics. Like, that would be awesome. Like an
crazy.
Olympic dodgeball team would be great, right? I mean, seriously, it would, right? There's defined dodgeball rules.
I mean, there's some
dodgeball.
dumb sports in the Olympics, so I can see that.
There's dodgeball in the NFL Combine.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
no fucking reason at all, and everyone watches it.
For real?
Yeah.
In the combine or in
the
like the
Pro Bowl.
All-Star?
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Pro Bowl.
I was going to say, that's
So-
pretty risky.
Not the Combine.
Tore
the
my
Pro Bowl.
labrum.
So it got me,
It's the same in the Pro Bowl.
it got me thinking, right? If we were going to put our 4-man U.S. dodgeball team out there, right,
Yeah.
and you're the head coach.
Oh, do they have to be from America?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're saying they're playing for America.
Okay, I got
right?
you.
So we're just
Oh, I
saying
thought
they're
it was
playing.
TV characters.
Well, they're playing for the U.S. though. That you're building your
We're
Olympic.
picking athletes or TV
No.
characters?
People that were in TVs or movies.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right?
I'm on the same page then.
So
We're
people
straight.
that are in TVs and movies, but you're building your team to play in the Olympics.
Gotcha.
So who
Oh,
would you
yeah.
pick from TVs and movie characters? Only stipulations we didn't mention it to you, Zach. So I hope half your people aren't this. Is that they got to be like humans that don't have superpowers. So you can't pick like Superman.
Oh, no.
right?
I
I
don't
can't
fuck
pick like.
All right.
I can't
Ones
pick
and
like
twos.
that shit.
Let's go.
Right? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Zach, you picked 0, dude.
Oh, fuck. I was doing rock, paper, scissors. My favorite.
1, 2, 3. Griff's out. All right, your last pick. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
See, you knew that I was
got
going to do
first
that.
pick. All
You
right.
knew I was going to
All
do
right,
that.
so-
All right, first pick Jake,
Fantasy draft
second pick
pick-
Zach, third pick Griffin.
TVs and movie characters.
Go,
Who would you
Jake.
put in your Olympic dodgeball team?
All right, the
4-man.
first overall pick in the Olympic dodgeball team TV and movie characters is going to be Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. This man can throw a fucking football
Damn it.
over
The mountains.
the mountains, and you don't think I'm going to pick him over the mountains. This guy is going to throw holes through your chest. Let's go. First overall pick, Uncle Rico.
We were talking about this, Jake,
pick.
and I had him on my list, but he wasn't the one I was talking. I was talking about someone different. But I did have him on my list because I think why do you want me to throw the ball over them mountains? Okay.
Uncle Rico.
Zach, who you got? Your
good.
first overall pick.
Well, side note, Uncle Rico kind of reminds me of how I got engaged, dude. Just a guy and a camera. Throwing a helmet over the mountains.
Zach Gellerman or Uncle Rico? Somewhere in the middle.
What do you say? You used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Fuck.
All right, Zach, here's the first pick.
So my first overall pick, or I guess first pick, is the boy Joe Rogan.
Oh,
Dude, he's
Joe Rogan.
fucking small. He's like 5'8", dude. He'll be able to get low, dodge. No jujitsu. Very flexible, dude. He'll be fucking doing the
fucking
splits.
kicking dodgeballs.
And then And then
That's incredible. Holy fuck.
That guy is the number 2 overall pick.
Is that what he's in
Zach, you
the,
realize
is that what he's
that-
in the ice tub?
There is a fucking line drawn in the middle of the court. Like, jiu-jitsu's not going to work for him. It's just not. Like, I agree if he could go over the line and
Pretty
fucking
sure.
choke hold your bitch ass.
I want to say. I'm pretty sure we did some sort of fantasy or some fantasy draft back at Zach's old place. We used to quarterback there, and it was something with TVs and movie kickers. And he also picked Joe Rogan. There
Joe Rogan is my number
I
one
agree.
pick in
Joe Rogan is
anything.
the fucking man.
He is fucking like a Swiss Army knife of men. He can do anything.
Well, I'm happy because I got both my 2 best picks I wanted. So I think I do think Jake is a good pick with the football over a mountain. But the 2 guys I'm going to pick.
Don't sleep on Rogan.
First,
Don't sleep on Rogan.
First is from the movie Major League,
He
The
is-
Wild Thing. The Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn.
Oh, the wild thing. That was my number 2.
101 mile an
The
hour
Wild
heaters.
Thing. Yeah.
Wild Thing. I had to pick Wild Thing. It's dodgeball.
I agree. You have to pick.
Jake,
Although
we're gripping
accuracy
and
problems,
ricking.
accuracy problems.
He does have accuracy problems.
Uncle Rico, you never heard about accuracy problems?
Nope.
Jake, you remember in college when we played dodgeball
Fucking
how we
knocking Tina, that
you
fat lard
remember
off the fucking fence.
you remember how inaccurate we were gripping the ball in college, right, Jake? You
Yes.
remember that? Did it matter?
No,
We were
because as
just-
long as they don't catch it, you're
Yeah.
good.
So
That's the number 1 goal in dodgeball is don't let the opponent catch the ball.
Can you imagine Ricky Vaughn with that grip that we had on those dodgeballs, like doing the little curveballs? That'd be insane. So Ricky Vaughn, my number 1 pick. I thought it was a no-brainer. That's
Yeah.
what I thought you were talking about was Ricky Vaughn.
That
Wild
was
Thing.
my number 2.
My number 2, another flamethrower of a pitcher, right? We got from the TV show Eastbound and Down Kenny fucking Powers. He throws 105 mile an hour heaters in that show.
Whoa, he does not throw 100.
Yes, he does.
Bro, I've
When he gets
seen that
brought up,
show.
yes, he does.
And
Remember?
the speed might say 105, but there's no, 105 coming out of that dude's hand.
No, I understand that. But in the TV
Fucking
show,
Hollywood, bro.
his TV character is a relief closer that comes in, flips everybody off, and throws 105 mile an hour heaters and strikes them out with his
He would be
mullet.
the perfect dodgeball player.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So now I've got 2 guys throwing 100 mile an hour heaters with curving dodgeballs.
Yeah, well,
This
I
is
got a guy
easy
who's
money.
flexible as fuck, and then we'll take an ice bath after.
I got both of my 1-2s, so it's your turn, Zach. Go ahead and go with your second pick.
All right, so my second pick, he's got moves. His feet, quicker than a hiccup, dude. Fucking Magic Mike, Channing Tatum, dog.
This is a dodgeball team, Zach. This
Dude,
is not a fucking jujitsu
you
dance
fucking-
competition.
Channing Tatum and Joe Rogan show up with their fucking shirts off, dude, flexing their pecs. I'd be scared too. All
You know
right.
what? He might be on the other side of that rub and tug. Zach's gonna be out there trying to make $20 on the square.
Jake and I were curious.
I'll be $40 in, dog.
Jake and I.
Zach's gonna come back. I hit big. I hit big, dude.
And I'm not talking about red, boy.
Jake and I were joking about like who our each other's picks were for this, our top picks, and we did not expect for someone to pick Joe Rogan and Channing Tatum.
I'm about it though. So I got the arm because I got Uncle Rico, and I'm gonna go ahead and get some hands because that's what you guys are missing so far is the ability to catch the ball, and I'm gonna go with Airbud from Airbud
Oh,
because you ever seen Airbud drop a pass?
No.
No.
he also flicks it up to other people a lot too
Yeah.
for the assists. So good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Airbud.
Not a very good pick. What if somebody opens bag treats?
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm gonna
you don't
say-
think Airbud's is a good pick?
I mean, I would argue Joe Rogan's a way better pick than Airbud.
Dude, Airbud knows the rules of football and basketball and baseball. You're telling me you can't learn the rules to dodgeball? Come on.
I mean, what if you can't communicate?
Come on.
It's a big part of a team sport.
Come on.
What if he's the last man standing? You don't know what he needs. Bad pick.
All right,
bad pick?
what do you got here?
Who's your third pick?
Yeah, I already picked him in one other draft, but I'm gonna pick him again. That's Chuck fucking Norris. Dude.
Ooh, that's a good pick. See, that was like a good rebound. Like
Yeah.
Airbud missed it.
No, Airbud fucking hits
Chuck
hard.
Norris comes
So,
in
because
out of
you're-
nowhere.
You're
the one
like-
criticism I have of Chuck Norris and Joe Rogan is they're both karate, jujitsu, like fighting guys, right?
Yeah.
Chuck Norris?
Yeah, that's what he started his background in.
Yeah.
He's
Do you want me to look up what Chuck Norris means?
Yeah.
It means fucking badass. I know. But I'm telling you.
Dude, Joe Rogan literally doesn't wear ties because he's afraid he's going to be choked out.
But what I'm
Dude,
saying.
imagine Chuck Norris and Joe Rogan fighting.
yeah. That's
like
what I'm saying
Joe
about
Rogan
Chuck
be trying to
Norris.
grab him. Chuck Norris would be trying to roundhouse kick him.
Chuck Norris
fucking
is
Joe Rogan be like, oh, you
comes
want me
out
to
of
kick?
nowhere.
The one fucking kicking.
The one problem is what is like Joe Rogan just outside of straight up jiu-jitsu and grappling? What's the one thing when people are stand up fighting? He always says, "Oh, it's a good leg kick.
Yeah.
Good leg kick."
Yeah.
What is Chuck Norris famous for? Roundhouse kicks. What's the point of dodgeball? To catch the ball, not get hit by it. They're kicking the ball away. They're out.
Well, to your
I would
point,
say-
listen, Joe Rogan's going to be out there higher than a motherfucker off DMT.
He's probably gonna think their fireballs coming at him.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
he's
wait,
going to
wait.
be, and he's going to be in the Matrix going, "Whoa."
Yeah, I also specified Chuck Norris from The Way of the Dragon.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, so I'm definitely getting a karate Chuck Norris.
Yeah. So you're gonna start kicking balls out of the way, though.
So we're pretty much just turning this into a jiu-jitsu match.
Zach, what's your
If we
third
don't
pick?
win, we're gonna kick the shit out of your team, Griffin.
Zach, what's your third pick?
All right, well, you're going to give me shit for this, but I don't give a fuck because fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, I had him from Game
He's
Plan.
coming out, dude.
I had him
Game
from
Plan.
Game
I had him
Plan.
from
He's
Game Plan
coming
as well.
out.
Oh,
had him from
good
Game
pick.
Plan.
Actually, that was your best pick so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of my next two picks.
All right.
The Rock.
Right there.
No.
I
Listen.
already had it typed in. Game Plan. The
Channing
Rock.
Tatum and The Rock, okay, both large, chiseled men, okay, and then they're gonna just split the water, kind
will
of
say,
like, kind of like Jesus did, okay, and then Joe Rogan, his little fucking 5'8" ass, is just gonna come out of nowhere, bam, and they're gonna close the sea again.
I will say, no homo, Channing Tatum does have an athletic looking build, but I haven't seen him do much athletic things.
Magic Mike,
He's dancing. I'm
21
talking about
Drum Street,
I'm talking about sports.
22
bro.
Jump Street.
He's an unathletic cop.
I think he was like a high school like basketball wannabe in that fucking show.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not impressed by the athleticism from a Channing Tatum movie yet.
Not yet.
Bullshit.
Anyway, so
that's just like, all right, fine. I'm gonna
Zach
pick
got a
Troy
good pick.
Bolton from fucking Zac Efron.
Zach got
High
a
School
good pick. He
Musical.
got the Rock though.
The Rock's a good
Rock's
pick. From
pick.
the Game Plan specifically, that was a great pick.
Yeah. So my last one here. This is a cameo character, but had all the makings to be the best pick ever. For my guys that have watched Blue Mountain State, the Golden Arm episode, I'm picking Golden Arm. His arm was chiseled by the gods, and we have to recruit him to this team. Golden Arm, pre-car accident when he gets drunk, is my pick.
I haven't finished that show.
Golden Arm.
That's a cop-out pick.
They literally call him Golden Arm.
It's a cop-out pick.
Golden Arm.
You should have picked Thad because he's fucking.
You should have
jacked.
picked that.
No, Golden
He
Arm.
probably would have kicked more ass.
Yeah, right.
He probably would have
playing
ate more ass,
Haven't
too.
you figured out that we're gonna get mad because we
we're-
lose,
yeah.
and then we're gonna go beat everybody's ass?
We're playing dodgeball, and I want Golden Arm out there with my flamethrowers.
All right,
That's
who's your
why
last pick?
my last pick is also going to be another flamethrower out there.
Griffin.
I'm going all
You need to catch
flamethrowers.
the ball, too.
No, we're gonna get
It's the
everyone
most
out.
important feature of dodgeball is catching it.
Everyone out on the first throw.
Shit.
We're throwing that hard. We're throwing
Fucking-
heaters out there.
4 balls, 4 outs.
That's how Joe
and I-
Rogan goes, skirt.
I have to go. I have to go with Roy Hobbs from The Natural. So if you guys haven't seen The Natural, old baseball movie with Robert Redford, he plays a
This
dude.
is a soft-ass pick.
No, he struck out Babe Ruth.
Your team is literally
This
getting
is
smoked.
soft-ass pick.
He struck
dude.
out. We don't got
Roy Hobbs.
We don't give a shit.
Our team fucking kicks his ass, bro.
We don't give a shit when we lose and get our ass kicked physically by you
No,
guys.
yeah, just your feelings hurt.
We're building a dodgeball
That's
team
cute.
here, and I'm putting out
Yeah.
players
Yeah.
that struck out Babe Ruth.
You know who doesn't
guys
give a
that throw
fuck about your feelings?
105.
Joe
We got
Rogan.
guys that throw 100-mile-an-hour heaters to the song "Wild Thing." Oh my god, my team is so stacked. And we got Golden Arm. His name is Golden Arm. Not even Tom Brady's called Golden Arm.
Yeah, but he's also called the GOAT, just like Blue Mountain State.
Also, when we put a poll up and the people see Golden Arm, they're going to say, what the fuck is Golden Arm?
yeah.
People that have
No
seen
one's gonna know.
BMS will know.
I don't know if they will.
They will know who Golden Arm's a famous episode.
I don't know.
100% is.
Eh.
Here's your next pick, Zach.
All right, my next and last pick. You know, you got the fucking
I'll say that about Zach's team is people are going to know who the fuck they are.
yeah, yeah, and they're definitely gonna know who this fucking guy
They're not
is.
going to know who Roy Hobbs is.
Yeah,
Yeah. but
who is Roy
I
Hobbs?
threw flamethrowers out there.
No one's going to know who Roy
You're getting
Hobbs
out. You guys are all getting out.
No, that's funny because
One throw.
My guy has played for legitimate baseball teams, legit baseball teams
Real
over
ass
the years,
baseball teams?
real ass baseball teams.
Major
Played
league?
major league, like almost made the roster kind of teams. Okay.
Yeah, well, we're playing dodgeball here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to throw the fucking ball. And this,
Exactly. I agree.
and this guy's name is fucking Will Ferrell. Okay. Because he's gonna come out just throwing straight gas, dude. Name one comedian actor that can come out there and also compete for a fucking Major League Baseball team.
I will say, we'll keep moving, but that Will Ferrell whole like stretch of 9 games in 3 days was awesome. It was super cool. He was hilarious. So, he was holding up the steel
Although
sign.
I will say he's probably more athletic than we give him credit for.
Probably.
Still probably not the
I
best
just think it was
athlete.
hilarious. I think it was hilarious. He was holding up the steel sign, like literally, it was a sign that said "steel."
I think there was
Third
a
base coach.
Since I'm the last pick, I think there's a better pick for you, and that's Adam Sandler from The Longest Yard.
I was thinking about him.
I had him on my list too.
I put Kevin Hart as another comedian.
He's low key athletic.
He is.
and
Alright.
small, which might be good in
got
dodgeball.
it.
And that's what Joe Rogan's there
But for my last pick, I'm definitely going to pick the Gus Bus from Benchwarmers. You would talk about a guy that plays baseball. He went out there and he would beat teams of fucking 9 by himself.
The
By
Gus Bus.
himself.
The
You
Gus
talk about
Bus
he's
is a
the
good
only
pick.
outfielder out there. They just hit a fly ball. He tracks it down him fucking self. He catches it. He runs that shit all the way to home plate
yeah.
and tags them out before they score.
crazy.
The Gus Bus.
You guys got any honorable mentions before we ended? I got Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Benny
from
the Jet.
Sandlot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had him too.
I have Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Don't have Kevin Hart on my list. Sorry.
We cleaned up my list.
I was
pretty
thinking
good.
like characters, not the actors that played them. Like I was literally thinking like Benny the Jet Rodriguez, or I was.
I don't live here, so you have to specify that in your email for the podcast notes.
No, we didn't
mean,
talk about it either.
It says people from TV shows.
Me and Griff actually had a more similar list than I would have thought. Because we cleaned up.
Yeah,
just
I was
went
trying to
for-
get flamethrowers. That's all it was.
I went for
Dodgeball
jack
flamethrower.
people, dude.
Yeah, Zach just picked over overall physique.
Yeah,
no
like-
care about athletic ability. Like he's just looking at pecs and fucking traps, and he's like, "Yeah,
That dude's got
Can
a
I
six
buy
pack.
you for
He's on my team.
Like, hey, can I feel him before I put him on my team?"
So
You look like an Abercrombie and Fitch model. I want you.
like
Like the Uncle Sam poster. I want you.
Yeah. Anyway, vote on the poll. We'll see who wins. Everyone, let us know who
See,
wins.
Instagram polls are super weird, so the only way that we know how to do this is like it's gonna say that you picked wrong, kind of. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, unless you pick right.
Let's pick
always
Zach
says
Curtis,
that.
who makes the poll.
Hey, you guys both have access to the polls now. I don't fucking hear it. You can put your own polls up and put yourself as being right.
But the reason we do it is to see the percentages of votes for the poll. So vote
Yeah,
who
right.
you want.
But yeah, everyone vote who you want.
Or just vote Zach.
So I got another.
You might be right if you vote Zach.
I got a little debate
You'll
thing
know
here.
who makes the polls when you vote tomorrow or Thursday.
I got a little debate thing here. So with the Olympics on, we can make this a quick one. But is there any sports currently that if you think you could just compete in, right? Like right now, you had to go, you had to practice and train a little bit, maybe and get ready for the next Olympics. But which sport do you think you'd be like, yep, I can compete in that? Not necessarily win a gold medal, but compete in it. I also put in parentheses, this obvious answer is none of them for us. But if you had to pick one,
That's false.
if you had to pick one, what would it be? Go number one, Zach.
Because mine is definitely something I can compete for, and it's a half of an Ironman.
It's in the Olympics.
It's in the
At the
Olympics.
Olympic level,
Yes.
Is there Olympics on that?
Yes, there is. And so what it is, it's a
it's a
point-
triathlon.
Yeah, it's a triathlon, but it's a 0.93 mile swim, a 25 mile bike ride, and a 6.2 mile run.
So you think
And
you'd have
I
the best
think-
time
No,
of like making the
yeah.
Olympics? In
I think that I could compete in the Olympics. I don't think that I could win.
No.
Well,
No.
you have to be able to make the Olympics, though.
Yeah, you have to-
make it in the U.S.
Yes.
Beat the United States trials, and you have to like beat out people.
As long as I qualify, yeah, I think I could.
No,
I don't think.
you under-
Yeah, like
Okay, so we'll work quick. Which
Like,
one do you think
we're-
you have the
US
best shot
is-
at? You think that's your
like
best
of
shot?
winning the gold.
No, of competing in the Olympics. You think that's your best shot.
like
yes.
you would have to
So
beat out.
he's not
Because-
saying that he
because-
would do it, but he's saying that would be his best
I
shot.
think because all right, and here's why is because there's like if we think about swimming, like we were talking about earlier, there's what 8-9 people for one stroke that compete.
Yeah,
When I watched this, there was like 100 people, so I think my odds would be a little better.
yeah, I can see that.
No, I
But
understand that.
I mean, I definitely don't think that I'm
That's
going to
stats that
win.
make
No, yeah,
sense.
but the thing was, if you had to pick a sport that you think you
But
could try and
I
compete
think
in,
that
you'd pick
this
whichever one you're
sport
closest, so.
translates to my life the most closely because I'm training.
I mean, to be
for
fair,
all
I don't
these.
think I can make it in my sport, but
But go ahead.
I went for odds. So anyway, you go, Jake.
I'm gonna pick the equestrian, and I don't know equestrian. And I don't know quite what this sport is, but I'm gonna specifically talk about the like dancing style one where they like just teach the horse tricks.
Time out. You fucking hate horses.
Yeah, I don't fuck with horses. But that is the least impressive shit I've ever seen in my life, is watching the horses skip in a sequence down, and then they judge them.
It's like the
Very
dog show.
unimpressive.
So
You
at
like the
all.
dog
I'm gonna
show?
say that.
Oh, I love the dog show.
So then what's the difference?
Jake-
I like dogs.
Is this you say
Jake,
horses?
I'm not impressed. You know, I see a dog, I'm like, oh, wow.
But if it was a Kita, you'd be like, holy fuck, look at that dog.
That's
Jake,
a cool
you're
dog.
right.
That's like my dog.
Jake,
Yeah.
I will say though, I think this is the complete biggest bullshit pick, and you have no chance because you would never be with a horse long enough to learn the tricks. You hate horses so much. Like you literally, you physically could not do. Like I hate horses.
I don't
I'm
hate
done.
horses that much. Listen, my argument is that
Dirt bike's better than a horse.
dirt bikes are better than horses, right? Like, look, you need less room to store them. Like, you don't need to feed them as much. Technically, you have to feed it gas and you have to feed a horse, but you have to feed a horse every single day, and then it poops, and you got to clean up the poop, and you got to take care
Oil.
of it. It stays. You don't. Yeah, hopefully, you don't have to clean up oil.
Why are you cleaning up horse poop?
What?
Why are you cleaning up horse
You
poop?
clean up horse poop out of the stable, buddy.
Oh, out of the stable. I was thinking of like in a field.
It's like soft serving it. And then
Bro, these are high class horses we're keeping. All
These are
right?
Arabians.
All I'm saying is that there's
Arabians. Arabian horse.
is that you can get one dirt bike. It'll cost you way less maintenance, and you'll get like 40 more horsepower.
I disagree with
I
that.
get that. But
Dirt bikes and horses, like small horses, they're about the same price.
I think dirt bikes are cooler.
No, whoa, like I'm talking about like maintenance and stuff. I didn't say
oh,
price.
no, like just to physically buy it.
No, that,
Like
not
they're
to buy
about the
it.
same price, but
Yeah.
maintenance a horse, yeah, it's definitely gonna be way,
Way
higher.
more
Yeah,
maintenance.
right.
Yeah.
Back to your pick, all I'm saying is that you wouldn't tolerate a horse long enough to train in all those tricks. You'd be like, screw this. My kid is cooler. And you'd leave.
I think that you would grow on horses
Probably.
until it bites you your
see
fucking finger.
All right. So I got my pick, and you guys are going to say I'm crazy at first.
You ever seen a horse dick? That's way more than $20.
You see
not talk
Jackass
about
when they
that.
taste the
So-
horse cum?
Here's
No, you ever seen that?
God.
No.
Yeah, they
Did
take
they,
the
like-
little fake horse vagina and jerk the horse off, and then they drink the horse cum on Jackass.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
That's like two girls, one
I,
cup kind of thing.
I literally saw like I couldn't watch it, so I like saw it in the corner of my eye, and I never watched it again. It was so gross.
That's a pretty gross scene.
who did it,
Also,
Steve-O?
they're coming out with a new
Johnny.
Jackass.
Are they
Yeah,
of the same people?
Jackass,
4 or 5 forever. Yeah, Jackass Forever.
Of like the same?
Yeah,
like,
it's the
Those
final one.
people, they're old as hell.
It's their final
Bam,
one.
you know that their ass is breaking bones out there. Right?
I broke my hip. Johnny, Steve-O, Bam, Wee Man are on it. What's his name?
I thought Wee Man died.
No, not Wee Man.
We man died?
The little guy.
No,
Yeah, the little guy.
No,
Isn't that Wee Man?
he didn't die. The dude that died
Ryan.
was Mini Me from
thinking of the wrong-
from the Spy Who Shagged from Austin Powers. The
wrong
one. Yeah.
One of them midgets.
But anyway, yeah, they're all coming back. But anyway, I did the math. I crunched the numbers, boys.
We need to quit drinking before the fucking podcast.
I crunched the numbers here, right? And so I figured out this is the best chance I have at winning any sort of medal or even competing in the
Ryan
Olympics,
Dunn.
right?
Yeah, right.
And it's basically that I somehow, because I'm not going to compete in any sport, I'm not athletic, I somehow convinced the men's baseball team to let me play as the 25th man and never get in the game. And then our baseball team somehow like does well in the Olympics. That's the only way I could foresee this. So somehow like, hey, you guys are really good. You guys have 24 players.
Nah.
Ping pong is literally an Olympic sport.
Oh, they're good.
They're
as
really
fuck,
fucking
bro.
good. They would kick the shit out
You
of you.
could compete. in
No,
that.
you could not. Every single person.
I think archery is pretty easy.
Every single
Throwing it out
person.
there.
Every single
This
person that
fucking
competes in the
guy. I
Olympics.
think it's pretty
would be
easy.
close. My only
They would
comparison.
fucking beat a billiards player's
In
ass.
comparison, billiards isn't an Olympics, but
Yeah.
it's harder than
Anyway,
archery,
my only
so.
point was that that's the only way I ever
not
get
an
a
Olympic
chance
sport,
to
though, is it?
competing in the Olympics is somehow tricking the men's baseball team to let me be as the 25th man for fun because they know they don't need 25 guys to win.
There's
That'd
so
be the
many
only
other
chance.
dumb sports out there that you could compete in.
Nope. Those guys are at Olympic level. I don't have
So
that. Type
Just
of
because you're an
concentration and
Olympic
time.
athlete doesn't mean that you're necessarily like the best of the best. When it comes to
kinda
like,
true.
That's
like,
No.
wasn't there, like,
No.
I mean, no,
There's a
like
lot
in,
of amateurs in
in
there.
swimming. Yes, I agree. You have to be really good, but like something like
I
table
think-
tennis,
I
as
feel
long
like
as
most
you don't
events
have
like
to
have
be-
like
I mean, technically, baseball's not the best of the best players.
no, I know that,
Yeah,
but
I
I
agree.
feel like
Boxing, they're not the best.
I
of the
feel like
best.
most of the
but like for
traditional events.
Griff to compete in, like,
Jiu-jitsu, they're probably not the best of the best.
So what I'm
all
saying
kinds
is,
of
though-
stuff.
but
I
I'm
think-
saying like Griff comes off the street, he could compete in table tennis.
No.
Nah, he might
No,
not win.
no chance.
No, I'm saying like
I could
easier.
not compete.
It's easier.
21-0 every time.
It's easier for
physically?
you. Yes, like
for the physical,
for the
body.
physical thing, it's going to be easier than you doing taekwondo or baseball or something
What
like
he's saying
that.
I
is
wouldn't
that-
play a game in the Olympics. It would be the least physically demanding part of winning a gold medal. The whole thing was that I convinced them to let me be on the team for fun because they don't need all 25 players. I sit at the end of the bench and never get in a single game. It's minimum effort, gold
Good
medal.
luck convincing. You better have a manager like David Bell.
It's not going to happen. That's the whole thing is we can't
we'll
compete
just
at the
throw Mir
Olympics.
Garrett some more. Come on.
That's the whole thing.
Join the bullpen.
None of us
Griffin Wyman?
None of
We
us
want
can
him.
compete at the Olympics.
You're a lefty.
And
Wow,
I
I was
also
looking for a
you
lefty
guys,
specialist.
I know there's a lot of amateurs that compete in some events, but I feel like most events are like the best of the best in the world in their countries are sent in there. Most of the traditional events.
Yeah, the traditional ones.
Their countries. We're talking about America.
Every country.
We're talking about America.
You can't tell me they don't have the best shot putters out there.
We're talking about America.
If I guarantee you that if I kept going with what I did, and I would say, 2-3 years, I could probably compete in the next Summer Olympics in this triathlon thing.
Okay,
No.
let's do that.
No.
I would
have to go to the
I will put
qualifying
my whole
races.
salary on you not making the Olympics in that event.
Yeah, there's no way.
In 3 years?
No chance.
way.
They've been doing it their whole lives.
You don't think I
Zach.
could qualify for that in
No.
3 years?
No.
Never.
Now, if I was saying that I had to go like swim 100 meters versus Michael Phelps, there's no way. But to literally compete versus 10 or
You have
100
to make
people,
the Olympics from guys that have been doing that for 15 years. That are like 30 years old.
Yeah, dude,
They've
there's
been
no
all they've
way.
been doing is
Okay.
running their whole life.
all I have is 5 more years.
Zach, no, you
Nah.
couldn't. We need to move on.
No way.
We need to move on.
That's
No way.
That's more likely than me
getting to
shooting
the
par.
PGA Tour part.
That is more likely than me shooting par.
I agree with that.
You think I can
Actually,
make
no.
the Olympics?
I think
No.
you make par over that. Never
Yeah,
mind.
American par would be easier, I think.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, obviously, no, I probably couldn't make the Olympics if 3 years of training. But if you and I both got off our ass right now, is like, you want to be a table tennis Olympic athlete, and I want to be a triathlon.
And I'm going to be an archer.
And he's going to be an archer.
I think-
Griff probably has the easiest road to
I
compete
think
in
table
the
tennis
Olympics.
takes way more skill
From
than
table
phys-
tennis?
Or a similar sport. Jesus, hop
Table
off
te-
my ass.
I don't think you understand how hard those table tennis guys
You
are.
put e-gaming in the Olympics. Griff has an easier chance than I do to compete in
That's for
triathlon. And Griff,
I get what he's saying. He's saying that, like, you don't need a physical build to compete in table tennis.
Yeah, or just like,
Like,
Yeah,
a
but the
person
skill level's
with
off the
the-
charts. I'd have a
with the
better
amount-
shot at convincing them to let me play baseball and not play.
But
Like,
when
you would
people-
have a worse chance as being a fucking high jumper because that's physically fucking impossible than
Right.
being a table tennis.
right.
Yeah, that's kind of what he's saying.
If I got told
You're going to be a high jumper, you'd have
no.
a 0.000.
If I got, I'll put it this way. I'll put it
He
this way.
fell down the
Zach.
steps the other day.
I'll put it this way. If a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I did this. It's done. You're gonna die in 5 years if you don't make the Olympics. You have to make the Olympics, and then you won't die."
In
Go
any
And-
sport.
Yeah, I would try and convince the baseball team over ping pong any single time. I had four years to practice.
Curling is an Olympic sport.
I think that takes more skill than you think. I think
You
it
don't,
does.
in 3 years, you don't think you could make the Olympic team?
We weren't talking. I wasn't talking winter sports though,
Listen.
because those are easier, no doubt.
listen.
Fuck.
Winter sports
Jake,
are
What
easier.
are you and your
All I'm saying-
stipulations,
We're
bro?
going to move
Summer
off from
sports
this
are
because
definitely harder.
we're arguing for no reason. But what I'm going to say is, it's just these guys have been doing it their whole lives.
Yeah.
I haven't. I can't just go in 4 years and be like, "Yep, I can do that."
So you want me to prove you wrong?
Yes.
I agree. Well, we had
Please
a
make the
Olympic
Olympics.
athlete?
we had a
make
buddy
the
from
Olympics.
college. Look, here, tell me how stupid this sounds. So we had a buddy in college who joined a boxing gym, and he was there for about 2 weeks, and he said, "Dude, I'm pretty good." The coach told me that he thinks if I stayed for a year or two, I might have a chance in the Olympics. Sounds pretty fucking dumb, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's kind of how you're sounding right now.
It's kind of like, oh, you should keep. You should keep.
How you're sounding.
Nobody has ever told me that I could be in the Olympics. I am saying that my skill set right now, if I
It would
continue,
be your best shot.
it would
I get
be
that.
my best shot.
get that.
That
All
is
right,
what
so-
I'm saying.
I can
Anyway,
compromise
I can
on that
understand.
one.
Compromise that one. So this has been a wild episode. We're gonna know this last section. It won't take too long, but
And hopefully not 30 minutes because Jake bitched about the other episode being
it won't,
too
it won't
long.
take 30 minutes. It'll be fine. But I think this will be a fun one. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Everyone's a little buzzed here, so I'm sure you guys are gonna have some
I'm
questions.
hot as fuck.
Yeah.
It's so hot in here.
You are so hot. What did it say about Joey Votto? Joey Votto is hot.
Joey Votto is so hot.
Jake's over here
Man.
fucking look like an investment banker. Jesus.
Business cash on the pod today,
All right,
you
guys.
guys.
So I got this. We got a murder mystery to go over. So it's a really, really famous one. And same as always, I got some suspects here. This one is still completely unsolved. No one has any clue, and I think it's pretty crazy as far as like I don't know which one to believe. I really don't. So I don't have a pick on this one. I'll probably pick whatever one I think would be most likely. But it is a very famous one, the John Benet Ramsey murder. Have you guys ever heard of that story?
I'm not.
Yes, no, Jake. So it happened like the year we were born, in 1996. Kind of a really sad story. It was like basically a 6-year-old little girl got killed in her own house. But the story basically goes, so December 26th, the day after Christmas, 1996, it was in Boulder, Colorado, and Patsy Ramsey found a ransom letter in the morning, in the early morning of Christmas, or the Christmas, day after Christmas, sorry, she found a ransom letter on her stairs, right? Written basically for her 6-year-old daughter, John Bonet. And then she called the police shortly after, like 5:52 a.m., right? And they basically said they had her held hostage. They had all these rules that we're going to go over here in a second they had to follow, right? So the police come inside the house, and they basically figure out that the only people that were in the house when the letter was found was the dad, John Ramsey, the mom, Patsy Ramsey, who found the note, and then their 9-year-old brother, Burke Ramsey, right? And so then John Bonet is the one missing. She's a 6-year-old little girl, all right? So weirdly enough, 8 hours later, the body was found, right? So she did die, right? They found her body in the house, in the basement, in the utility room, across the house. So that body had been there the entire time, theoretically, since the note was found at 5 in the morning. The kid was dead by that point, which is pretty insane. The police searched the house. They didn't find it till 8:30. They didn't do a full search of the house, I should say. So basically, it was sad, found by the dad. Duct tape on the mouth. This is an extension cord around her neck. It was also widely reported the crime scene may have been a little bit contaminated with everyone walking through the house and police being like, holy crap, we found this body and everything like that. So the crime scene may have been contaminated. That was never confirmed. They couldn't say for sure it was contaminated. But the police basically said the house was not fully searched because there was no reason to believe that she was in the house after reading the ransom note, that she was kidnapped at that point. So they didn't do a full search. Just so you guys know, John Ramsey, very, very rich, right? Very rich man. He started some tech company that did work for I don't remember if it was Boeing or Lockheed Martin's who it was, right? He was super, super rich. His house was enormous, right? This wasn't like, a house through a neighborhood here in Northern Kentucky. This was like going on the size of a mansion, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. John Bonet, just so you know a little bit of her background, she was a famous beauty pageant winner. She won like big, high profile like kids pageants. So that's what she was like, kind of famous. People knew who she was, but it was more so that was this super prominent family. Their little girl died in their house, which is pretty insane. So, she basically, she died. They found all that stuff there. They did the autopsy. The autopsy at first revealed that she was bludgeoned to death, while the county coroner then said that she may have died from a strangulation, but more than likely she was still alive while she was being strangled. So that's how she ended up dying, essentially, right? And so they had the duct tape. There were signs of bludgeoning, and there was also, again, the cord around her neck. So a paintbrush was found belonging to mom, right, to Patsy, and that's what was used, they said, to tighten basically the hold on the strangle, which is pretty crazy. There was also DNA from a manhunter's shirt. It was just like hair follicles and like skin and stuff like that. But they found a random, and they said for sure it was a man's DNA, but they don't know like who the person was because they searched in an FBI's database of over 1.8 million samples of like violent offenders and had no matches at all. So they had no hits on the DNA, but they did have this DNA at the scene, right? There was 2 sets of footprints found in the house that were inside. They could not be identified with anyone in the house. So they knew that they said they had to be outside ones because they couldn't basically say it was anyone's shoes, right? They couldn't compare it to the shoes that were in the house from everyone that was in there. There was also a rope that was found right next to her body that didn't belong to the family. Supposedly said we didn't have a rope like that. It was a big giant rope. And then the last part is there was no sign of forced entry at all. And this was the middle of Colorado in December. There was more than a foot of snow on the ground. There was no snow tracks at all around the house, and it hadn't been snowing previously the night before at all. So the snow was basically there for like a day with nothing added to it, and there was no footprints outside. So the ransom note, very, very weird. So the ransom note that was left, right, had a bunch of spelling errors, and they had a bunch of weirdly spelled words that were spelled correctly, right? But then there was
might have been me.
There was thought to be simple words that were spelled incorrectly, like possession and things like that.
Me.
No, I could have definitely misspelled that word.
But then they had
how many S's are around?
So they had a word called attaché, and they spelled it perfectly with the little like accente and everything like that. So, but here was
Sometimes you get lucky.
Here was the letter, kind of weird, but it says, Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe, and we demand that if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 on the dot from your bank account. $100,000 of that will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 will be in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring a adequate size attaché. I'm assuming that's some sort of like container or something like that to carry it, right?
I think it's what like those bags that
Duffel.
monies comes
Yeah.
in that locks.
So attached to MIB to the bank. When you get home, you put the money in a brown paper bag, and I will call you between 8 and 10 tomorrow to instruct you for delivery. The delivery will be exhausting. It will be a long drive. I advise that you be arrested. If we monitor you getting the money early, or we might call early to arrange any type of delivery with the police, we will know, and it will not be good, right? The letter then went to say a couple other things like the two gentlemen watching over your daughter not particularly like you, so I advise you not provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police or FBI, will result in your daughter being beheaded. So these guys are pretty insane, right?
Yeah.
Pretty hardcore. That's some messed up stuff. They said other things about trying to deceive us. We know the police, like we know how they move. We know how to evade them, things like that. So pretty crazy stuff, right? So to recap, it suggests so far, though, just so you guys know, that because this ransom note was found out, it was written with pen and paper from the house that was used from the house, right? And there was also a small ripped piece of paper that they found that had like a practice one that had the same title and was like ripped up, right? So they found that by where on the stairs there, and they found another one in a different place in the house. So to recap the story as it goes, this is all the data that's been found so far, right? The intruder broke into the house with no forced entry, wrote a ransom note using pen and paper that found inside the house, then for some reason captured and killed the girl they said they were going to ransom for after writing that letter, and then left with no exterior footprints while 3 family members were in the big house, right, asleep and didn't even know about it for 8 hours, right? So that's the story. What's your first initial thoughts on that?
It had to be the parents.
I think it's the parents. A little sketchy, right?
Yeah.
A little sketchy. So here, we'll go into all the suspects, right? So the number one suspect at first was the Ramsey family, right? They were the first suspect. The things that called into question was the ransom note authenticity. Some people were skeptical of it. That none of the handwriting matched any of the family members, though, right? None of the DNA on the girl matched any of the family members. But they thought the note was weird that it took so much time to write this note out, and they had all these spelling errors. They didn't make that perfect, and then they ended up just killing the girl anyway, right? If they said they wanted to ransom her, then she theoretically died the same day, right? They just said, no, let's not do that, right? So, basically saying that the parents may have staged the break-in and the letter because the theory is that their older brother, Burke, accidentally killed her sister, right? So that's the whole theory behind this, that he accidentally killed her, and that they didn't want to lose both kids. So one kid could go into like the system and stuff like that. So they staged a ransom and like a murder of their child so they could basically get the little kid off the hook for it, right? Some things against that. So that also means that they would have had to theoretically strangle their kid before she was dead, right? Because that's what the autopsy proved, which I think is pretty messed up and probably wouldn't happen, right? I don't think anyone would have the heart for that, right?
I don't know. What about that other family in Colorado we talked about?
That's pretty crazy.
Where the dad killed all 3 of them?
That was in California, but yeah.
I thought it was Colorado.
Katy, California.
You sure?
Yeah.
The one
Colorado.
that put the ones in the oil
I
tank?
think Zach's right.
Oh, never mind. That's a different one. No, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
The family,
It's
the
a different one.
Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Not me. But that's still a thing that's pretty messed up. Also, the 2 sets of footprints, like I said, did not match, or the DNA did not match the people. So that's basically it for the Ramsey family, right? There is some evidence to support it. There's also some pretty strong evidence that it wasn't them, right? That they just, again, the police said the place was too big to search and they didn't need to because they said it didn't look like it was me inside. Next suspect, Bill Reynolds. So Bill Reynolds, he's just a local guy that lives there, right? He plays Santa every year for Christmas. Remember, this is the day after Christmas, right, that she died. So he had been at the Reynolds house 2 days prior for a Christmas party, right? Basically, he lost his own daughter to a kidnapper 20 years earlier. Just a weird coincidence. His daughter was kidnapped and never found. He had, shortly after he did Santa gig across, he had to have heart surgery after Christmas. This had been after she's dead. But he met her at the house, obviously being Santa, and she gave him a little vial of like glitter she used for like her pageants. And this guy just got so like weird for this glitter. It made no sense. This is the way I think is a little creepy about it, because this is after she died. He had to have his heart surgery. He basically said that the murder was harder on him most, even harder than his heart operation. She gave him a container of glitter as a gift when he was Santa, and then he asked his wife if he died for the operation to spread the glitter amongst his ashes when he dies. Because he said it's the first person to ever give him a gift being Santa. He thought she was an exceptional little girl and like weird stuff like that, right? And then he went into his heart surgery and he requested that he like have his hand holding the glitter the whole time, right? So he's just obsessed with this glitter stuff for like no reason whatsoever. I don't think that that's enough to say this guy did it, but it's definitely weird, right?
It's kind of weird.
I think it's pretty weird.
Not insanely weird.
Yeah.
but it's
Like,
kind of
like,
don't think he
like a
did it.
50-year-old man just like basically took this glitter everywhere with him that a little girl gave him that he didn't know.
maybe meant a lot to him.
Yeah, maybe it could have reminded him of
think it's a little weird.
his daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just do think it's a little weird. That's all I'm saying.
All right, he's not a suspect.
Anyway, Gary
I think it's a
Oliva.
little weird, but it's not like
Yeah.
he murdered that fucking woman, that girl.
Gary Oliva is the next one. So
Maybe
he
if it
was
was like an extension cord he carried around everywhere.
so
I
get
definitely see
speaking of
that.
that. So
If I was a juror and they're like, what did this guy
Glitter.
do? He has glitter.
Yeah,
Fucking
that.
guilty.
to be fair,
got him.
I don't think this guy did it, but
weirdo.
I just think it's just weird in general that you do that. But anyway, Gary Oliva, the next suspect, he's a neighbor of the Ramsey family, a couple houses down. 2016. So this is what 20 years after she's murdered, right? So in 2016, he got arrested for child porn, right? Not good. Very, very bad.
The dad?
No. This is the another suspect.
Okay,
A neighbor,
Oh,
right?
this guy sucks.
This guy sucks.
Pinned a murder on him
Yeah,
anyway.
this guy sucks. 2000, he was arrested for an unrelated drug charge, right? This has been 4 years after the murder, but arrested for an unrelated drug charge. But when he was arrested and when they searched his bag, he was carrying a little pocket picture of John Benet Ramsey, the girl who was dead, right?
Oh, this guy sucks.
Very weird, right?
him.
The
20
quote-
years of life.
So he had a quote basically of why he carried that around. And he said, John Benet's murder touched me very deeply. I felt she was an exceptional girl whose death was an exceptional loss. I felt the need to rebuild a monument, a shrine to remember this little girl. Weird.
That's a little weird.
Weird.
Hella weird.
Yes. So that was his explanation for carrying the picture. That's all it was, right? Also, last thing of evidence here for him. So basically, a couple years after, I think it was In Touch magazine, basically was trying to find people who had information or knew people that were involved in the case and stuff like that, knew like the Ramsey family, and just get like do stories on them in their magazine. So this one guy called and said, got an interview with them saying that he was a friend of this Gary Oliva guy in high school. And he said the night after the murder, he called him on the phone and told him, quote, I heard a little girl. I'm in Boulder, Colorado. I need help. And he said he freaked out and just hung up, right? He said something too. He tried to never mind. No, he just freaked out and hung up. This is what the guy who said he knows it from high school said, right? Also, what I do want to point out is supposedly In Touch magazine was paying a pretty penny to get these people to tell their stories. So there's a good chance that they were going to run with anything. It's not the most reputable magazine. It's like a gossip magazine, right? And so this person, they just said, hey, we'll give you $5,000 to tell us your story. And he just makes something up. That's always an opportunity, or a possibility, right? Because they were paying good money. The last thing, just for his thing. So basically, he tried to strangle his mom once the same way John Benet Ramsey was strangled, right? But DNA doesn't match. Footprints don't match for what they could find. And there's no sign of forced entry, essentially, from someone doing the outside. But that was Gary Oliva. So we get the last culprit right here, the last suspect. So John Mark Carr, who's probably the worst crap hole of all these guys, right?
Over the child porn guy?
What do you think he's in trouble for? So,
Child molestation.
no.
Oh.
So he's
Well, that was the only thing worse I could think of.
this guy's just worse. He's a divorced father and it was a former elementary school teacher, right? He didn't become a suspect until 10 years later when he confessed to the murder via email to a journalism professor who was like basically pen paling him because he thought he was a suspect and he thought he was trying to basically get in his good graces, right? To get him to tell him all these crazy stuff, right? So
That's so weird to me
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Having a pen pal.
yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
Like a prison pen pal for
So
the pod.
this guy, Michael Tracy,
Be cool content.
this journalism professor, Michael
Just
Tracy.
tells us his
Yeah.
freaking story of the week.
This journalism professor, Michael Tracy, emailed him for
There
4
got
years to
shanked.
gain his trust. His quote by this Michael Tracy guy was, these emails, you are reading and hearing a truly dark side of the human psyche and having to pretend it was okay to sit in judgment without judging him because otherwise the communication will be stopped and you would not be looked at as a suspect. This was the worst experience of my life thus far, no doubt, right? So this guy basically had to, I'd assume, act like a bad dude as well, right? To gain his trust, to get him to tell him all this crazy stuff. And so he basically, some emails said he used similar wording as the ransom note. Also, he knew Patsy, the mom's nickname, Nettie. He called her by Nettie all the time, which they thought was weird that he would even know that because like a family nickname, and he should have no connection to the family, right? He also said that he was in love with her, and he said that he hit her in the head with a flashlight when it killed her. He basically said he had some weird some weird quote too as well, because he was a weird dude. He said, "She of course was asleep from the time that I snuck in. I took her from her bed and took her to the basement. Her first reaction was, 'Where am I?' I said, 'You're in your basement.' She wasn't that little room to be disgraced, and I would never disgrace her or dishonor her by putting in that little utility closet. She was there temporarily, and what really hurts me is that she stayed there, and that's where her father found her." It was just a horrible thing, really. That's the guy who's confessing to the murder that said that. Weird dude. He sucks, right?
Yeah.
You can all agree he's worse than the other guy? No?
What do you do?
Yeah.
You just confessed.
He confessed to the murder, right?
That's it.
You know how many times
So
that happens, though?
that's what I'm getting to. So, real quick.
And it's not really them?
With help from the different intelligence agencies across the world, he was found and extradited on an unrelated child porn charge hiding in Bangkok, Thailand. Right? So there you
This
go,
guy's
Jake.
no good either.
This guy's no good.
Get him out of here.
He was trying to escape the charges. They extradited him back to the U.S. No one in the Ramsey family after this was longer considered a suspect, although Carr's DNA ended up not matching the stuff of the scene. He was never charged with murder. He's going in jail for his unrelated child porn charge. But the Ramsey family at this point is not considered a suspect anymore. So they aren't considered suspects right now by the police.
Then who was it? A ghost?
So, real quick. So the United States Department of Homeland Security continued to investigate Carr
They probably did it.
because Carr said he never acted alone. That's something he held through the whole time. Remember, there was 2 sets of footprints they found. They couldn't figure out whose footprints they were. Mark Becker, though, former police chief of Boulder, Colorado, and was the lead investigator in the case early days, he said on a Reddit AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything, right? They just ask him questions. He basically said that it wasn't him. They said he knew from the start. Let me find it. He said, his confession, once they shared it with us, did not match evidence of the scene. We knew in about 18 hours he was not the guy. We were able to confirm he was not even in Colorado at the time by just doing some routine checking and then obtained photos of him in Georgia at that time. So this guy's basically saying it was not this guy. He's just lying. He's making all this up because he wanted some attention, right? Last thing I want to say here. So this really puts the whole wrench in the damper, right? This is the last part we can figure out who we think did it. But a recent CBS program a couple of years back, Dr. Henry Lee, he was a famous investigator in the OJ case for like forensics and everything like that. And he basically said he studied the DNA that was on John Bonet's shirt and underwear, basically. And then he basically theorized that this DNA might be BS because it was new stuff. It might be straight out of the manufacturer's packaging, someone that packaged it, right? It might be their DNA. It might be a random dude in a factory, right? So he tested it on multiple like used pairs of underwear and shirts, and like most of them had trace DNA of a random males or females from the packaging, right? Straight out of the packaging when they tested it. So what he's essentially saying is that DNA could be bullshit. It could be any of those suspects. Because just because the DNA doesn't match, if the DNA is defunct, then it doesn't matter. It's just manufactured DNA. There's someone else did it and did a good job hiding it. So with that, what I want to say before you get to your guesses, I really don't think there's a clear pick here. I think it's like if you, especially if you thought that last one, you could think theoretically it could be any of them. But I think they all have definitive evidence saying it's not them. They also have weird stuff kind of connecting them, minus the glitter guy. He's just weird.
Yeah, well, we're throwing him out.
Definitely throwing the glitter guy out.
I mean, you would have to point to either somebody had to be in that house before it snowed, or it had to be a family member. If there was no footprints
I can
in
100%
the
agree
snow.
with that. The only thing, unless they're really good at like covering their tracks behind them, you know what I mean? They know how to basically do it and level it off. That's the only if they're like super good at that for some reason they practiced. Other than that, I agree. Inside the house or family member, right? Someone that already got in there before it snowed.
Right.
Big house, maybe someone was hiding out for a couple of days in the utility room.
Right. That's my guess.
I think it's pretty. I really don't know who it is. It's like that's why it's still unsolved.
It's pretty hard.
Because the last guy sounds like he admitted to it and everything like that. Then you find out that he wasn't even in the state at the time.
I
Supposedly.
feel like that happens a lot, especially in famous cases. Like people will
you're
come
right.
forward just for the clout, but
No, you're right.
then they just die
I'm
poor.
going to pick the first child molester.
First child molester, Gary Oliva.
Lock them both up, but we'll pick the first child molester.
feel
And if I'm wrong, I don't care. Lock them up anyway. Just keep
It's a win-win.
Well, he's just a child porn guy, which is just as bad. But
Still bad, very bad. But they were both child porn guys.
yeah, lock them both up. But I'll pin the murder on the first child.
I think it
porn
had
guy.
to be the family guy,
The family.
not Peter Griffin, but the other.
So that's the last thing I'll leave you with then. So the theory for the family is that the little brother or older brother, 3 years older, killed her by accident or something like that, right? Hit her with something, right? And then she was like dying basically. But then the whole theory behind that is if you believe that it was the family that did it, that one of the family members would have had to strangle her to death while she was still living,
right.
Because
Well, we already verified that that's happened.
But just think about we all have sisters and we've all had sibling fights. I've never hit my sister or anybody that hard.
Yeah.
To
So
make
I don't know the
them
detail.
die.
That's just the theory.
I punched Jake in the face before, and he's still here.
I punched Jake in the
punched my
face once
sister in
too.
the face.
Yeah, we both punched Jake in the face.
But like that's what I'm saying is like even if you get mad at your sibling, like you're not going to hit them that hard.
So then
to kill them.
you're saying that one didn't happen. That's like the best idea they got.
Yeah,
Is why would this family out of nowhere,
unless that was
happy
just some
family,
demon
millionaires?
kid.
No, dude, there's psychopaths out there.
Oh, for sure, there is.
Like that feel like nothing.
Yeah.
Kill something or someone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know.
But anyway, so again, the last thing. So again, the theory is Burke, that he killed his little sister. There was an interview done like last year with him, like however many years, 20 years after, whatever, 15 years after, whatever it was. And they basically did this interview, and it was the weirdest freaking interview I've ever seen. Like he's like giggling and laughing all the time, and the lady's asking him questions about his little sister dying.
Yeah.
And so basically, people pointed two things on that: is that this kid is either completely traumatized and messed up for
Yeah.
doing,
It's been
for,
how many years?
yeah, for dealing with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Or he's like literally traumatized and demonized because he killed his sister. Those are like the two options people have been coming
Definitely
to.
So
traumatized.
how
I
old
don't know
was-
about what?
Yeah.
How old was he?
Probably older than us. He was 9 years old in 1996.
Okay.
So we're,
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at, is like-
he was 9 years old then.
Like anybody at that age, like they get into sibling fights. Like I don't think a 9-year-old could hit that hard.
Yeah, I don't know if they got the strength.
But she was bludgeoned with something, and she's also very little too. You gotta remember too. It's probably not gonna take much to hurt her that bad. You know what I mean? So, but the idea is that she got hit with something super heavy, right? And that carries a lot of weight to it, no matter how hard you hit someone, right?
I think Jake was the last person I hit.
Yeah. So, either way,
How's it feel?
definitely a weird case, and I really like the other ones. Have been like, I think it's probably this, or I think it's probably this. This one was like just completely up in the air. I really don't know. Those are the best suspects they got too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy case. Very sad case though. Very sad.
Dude, what if we like solve one of these murders one day? You think we're gonna get clout? Like legit
that'd be the
clout?
clout king right there.
That'd be better.
he
than,
just talks about some random thing. We're just like, what about Eric?
yeah. Like, anybody
Who's
ever thought of
Eric?
Eric?
Like, Eric, dude.
Yeah, like-
Eric did that.
Obviously, I mean, it's written in the sand.
FBI's listening. Dude, did you think about Eric?
Damn, did think about Eric.
FBI's listening to our series.
Write
My
down
FBI.
Eric. Write it
agent.
down. Write it down, Eric.
I wonder if our personal FBI agents that spy on us are ever like sitting there listening, like, why are these
Question.
motherfuckers
China.
What did you guys do to get the FBI to listen to our podcast?
No, no,
Nuclear
I don't
bombs.
know.
China.
You never heard that meme? People say my FBI agent.
Yeah, like
saying that they
everybody has
spy on
an S-
everybody.
yeah.
Says, what if our FBI agents like we're just sitting there like these motherfuckers keep talking about all this unsolved mysteries. We unsolved this shit years ago and haven't told nobody. They're not going to figure it out.
That was pretty crazy.
Anyway,
All right, boys. Well, that was a good episode.
long episode again.
Long episode, but we got some good laughable clips out of there. Enough for you to clip. Social media manager Jake Lawhorn. Follow him at Jade.
They gonna have to start paying me for this shit.
Whoa!
We're out of here. Thank y'all for listening. Go ahead and check out Gridiron Garage Pod. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Check out Gridiron Garage Pod on Instagram and Twitter. We will be posting polls or something for you guys to interact with. Probably some posts. Get some people looking at our accounts. So thank you for listening. Go ahead and subscribe, and we out.